Hey, this is God is Real 101, and this is the 5 questions for atheists.
What? You dare to question an atheist? Especially me? Okay, let's do this. Alright, hit me. Come on, hit me with your best shot.
Question number 1. Can you prove with 100% certainty that there is no God?
Irrelevant. It's not my job. It's not my job to prove that God isn't real. It's your job to prove that he is. You see, nobody starts out believing in God. Nobody starts out believing in elephants, Corvettes, Vanna White, or Darth Vader either. We have to be taught about those things after we're born. And I was never shown that God was real. Ever. And frankly, neither were you, because you religious people rely on faith instead of facts. And that's why we don't believe. You see, the atheist position, when we are proactive against theists anyway, tends not so much to be God isn't real as it is you're full of shit. That's what it comes down to. So you're basically trying to shift the burden of proof onto me and away from you, and I'm not letting you get away with it.
Question number 2. Do you believe that faith or lack of faith is a choice?
Well, that depends entirely on what you mean by faith. Because unfortunately, the word faith means many different things, and they're not all compatible. I mean, there's faith in your friends, there's being faithful to a spouse, and so on. There's faith in a God. There's the belief without proof kind of faith, the belief without evidence kind of faith, the kind you have in a deity. Now, that kind of faith is most definitely a choice. Yes, it is.
Question number 3. Do you have faith or hope in anything you can't see? And if so, what is it that you have faith or hope in?
And this is the kind of question that I'm going to refuse to answer. I'm going to refuse to answer it on the grounds that it's essentially a linguistic trap. You see, as I said before, the word faith has different and sometimes contradictory meanings. If I say I have faith in one thing, you might take it to mean a different kind of faith. What I do not have in anything is the belief without proof, the belief without evidence kind of faith that you have to believe in a God. I don't have that. I might have faith in my friends, and that's based on long experience. That's based on actually being able to experiment with whether or not they're reliable people. Until you can experiment with God's reliability that well, I'm sorry, but you're having a different kind of faith. It's that simple.
Question number 4. In your opinion, if a creation class was accepted in school, but was 100% elective, and the teacher who taught the class was a certified teacher, but didn't get paid, would you still have a problem with this elective course?
Would I have a problem with children being taught factually incorrect bullshit in school? Yeah, I would. It doesn't matter whether the teacher's being paid. It doesn't matter whether the course is elective. You don't teach children falsehoods in school.
Question number 5. As an atheist, do you think that your life is more fulfilling than a Christian's? And if so, why?
Well, I like to think that I've led a more fulfilled life, but who's to say? I mean, there is no standard up in the sky against which we can judge our lives. There's no checklist of, well, I got that and missed that, and so I've been more fulfilled than you are because I got more checks on the checklist. It doesn't work like that. You see, everyone has their own personal standard. Two people could live exactly the same lives, and because one person's standard means it sucked and another person's standard means it was awesome, well, one person loved it, the other hated it. And who's to say who's right? I mean, okay, I'd like to think that I have more opportunities than a theist because I'm not as hemmed in by weird regulations about what is or isn't sinful. I mean, if I were a religious person, the fact that I'm a lesbian would absolutely suck. It would mean that I'm like totally sinful and I'd have to go against my very nature if I wanted to ever have a relationship. Because, you know, well, boys, you. But, I mean, no offense, guys, but, you know, you probably feel the same way about your own type, don't you? So, I mean, everyone's got their own standards. I wouldn't want to live in a religious society where I absolutely had to be with a member of the opposite sex. That would suck. So, I think that I have more opportunities to have a fulfilled life because I'm not as hemmed in by rules. But at the same time, I do follow some rules because I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to be hurt, so I make sure that there are rules that protect me just as much as other people are protected from me. That makes sense. But a lot of religious rules don't make sense. They just seem to enforce people's prejudices or bigotry, frankly. So, do I have a more fulfilled life? I think I might, simply because I'm not as hemmed in by religious rules. But at the same time, some of you out there, you religious people, are probably going, yeah, well, we have a more fulfilled life because we're more spiritual, we're closer to God, because we are hemmed in by those rules and we follow them and you don't, and therefore your life is, less holy or something and thus less fulfilled. Your standard and my standard are different. You see? So if I led a more fulfilled life, by my standard, yes, I have. But there's nothing that says that my standard or yours is the standard, because there is no the standard. It just doesn't exist. Get what I'm saying? Anyway, until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying don't run on automatic. Instead, please think. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. And please visit my Zazzle store, where you'll find all kinds of BionicDance merchandise. If you don't like what I'm saying, there's a good chance you're the reason I'm saying it.